Hey guys, it's Brianna. I'm gonna do my bully story, and just please don't hate because it'll really get to me. But yeah, I'm gonna go through elementary, middle school, and high school, which I'm still in high school right now. So in elementary, I went to the school, one of the elementaries where I live right now, and at first I didn't have friends, and people would look at me funny, and I didn't really understand. I was too little, but I realized that nobody liked me. I just felt like nobody liked me because I would sit at the lunch table by myself, and I would play by myself at the playground, or I'd sit there and watch everybody play and be like, oh, I want to go do that, but, I can't because I don't have friends. And I didn't know what to do. So I was sitting outside one day, in my little corner, and I had somebody come up to me and say, hey, you want to play? Her name was Kinley. I'm not going to say last name, but she was my first friend, and I sat there and I was like, are you sure, She's like, yeah, come play with me. Well, she ended up getting me friends, I started hanging out with people that she did, and I felt like I was fitting in. Well, then people would come up to me and say something about my skin color, and I was like, I thought we were the same, I was too little to understand about the color thing. And I wish I knew, but who tells their kid when they're in elementary, oh, you might get picked on because of their skin color. Nobody's gonna tell their kid that. They're too little to, understand. But, that happened through elementary school. I got picked on because of my skin color. And in 4th grade is when I noticed that, I was different, and I just had to accept it. So then middle school came. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a 6th grader. This is going to be so much fun. I've heard so many great things about being a middle schooler. I was like, yes, I'm finally in middle school. Well, ended up going to a different school. I moved when I was after 4th grade, and I moved somewhere else. And everything was fine until my 6th grade year. I noticed in 5th grade that I looked at girls differently, but I didn't, say anything because I was like, maybe it's normal. Well, then 6th grade came, and I decided that I wanted to come out, so I ended up telling my dad, and he didn't care. He was cool with it. He's like, I still love you, So I went to school, and I told people, I was like, I like girls. And they was like, what? You like girls? And I was like, yeah, why? And why does it matter, Because I was still young. I didn't know that a girl wasn't supposed to like a girl. But I ended up telling a lot of my friends, and then I lost a lot of friends that I thought were my friends, but honestly, if they were really my friends, they wouldn't have dropped me because I like girls. Well, then I would go through school, and people would sit there and call me names, call me trash, tell me I should die because in the Bible, you're not supposed to like the same sex. Well, it really got to me, and I ended up cutting myself because of it. I wasn't proud. I'm not proud of it now, but when I was in 6th grade, I was going through so much, and people were picking on me, calling me names, and throwing the Bible at me and stuff. And I was too scared to tell the principal, because it was 8th graders, 7th graders, 6th graders. I had the whole school telling me that it was so wrong to like girls. And I never said anything because I was like, you know what? Maybe they're right. Well, I ended up moving to New York, just to get away because I was cutting myself, and I just needed time, I didn't need to be surrounded by people that were negative. Well, then I moved up there, and people were like, oh, she moved up there because she can't handle the truth, blah, blah, blah. They're sitting there bashing me on Facebook and getting on my Instagram and stuff and just commenting hateful things, and was like, are you going to come out there? Oh, bet you they won't like you out there. Well, I ended up coming out when I lived in New York. They didn't care. I was like, oh my gosh, a place where I could be myself. Like, it brought me joy, and people don't understand that. Well, then I ended up moving back down here to where I live now because my grandfather ended up passing, and I really wanted to be with my mom and my dad. So then I moved back to the same place where I did when I went to elementary. And this is 8th grade year. Well, it was middle school, so I had to do the whole coming out again, I waited until after Christmas break because I was talking to this girl. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I'll have me a girlfriend. Well, we ended up dating, and then we decided to come out together after Christmas break. Well, see, what happened was after I came out here, the bullying started again. People like throwing the Bible at me, saying it was nasty, it wasn't right, that liking girls wasn't a thing, that I should read the Bible and stuff. Well, then I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, I was like, you know what, I don't care anymore. And then other people started coming out, and I was like, see, I'm not the only one, I thought I was the only one, but I'm not. So I started feeling better. I was like, you know what, I don't care, I'm just gonna brush it off my shoulders, leave it be. I still get hate, but it didn't affect me anymore. Like, I'm in high school right now, and I don't care what people think about me being bisexual. I love who I am, and I'm gonna love a girl or guy one day, and I'm gonna be happy with them. Like, if it happens to be a girl, I don't care. If it's a guy, okay. But I'm gonna be me. Well, now I'm in high school, and things aren't that great. Like, my freshman year, I was sucked in a bunch of drama. I always tried to be the one that would keep everybody, peaceful kind of person. And then, everybody just wouldn't stop. So I started being mean to people, and I started treating people the way that they treated me. Well, now I look back on it, and I know I've hurt a lot of people, and I'm not perfect. I've done people wrong, they've done me wrong, but that doesn't justify anything. People don't understand how bad bullying is. It doesn't matter if it's over text, in person. on social media, it's all the same. Like, I get hate comments still to this day, and that's why I've been acting the way I am on Instagram, and I can't help it. Like, you guys just don't, I mean, some of you might understand, but to be picked on because of your color, because you're trying to make a YouTube to inspire people, it's really hard when people are like, oh, your videos suck, you need to quit, and then they want to make fun of me because my teeth. Like, I can't help it. I've tried to get braces, but my insurance won't pay for it. So what am I supposed to do? I mean, I'm 16 and I can get a job, but the only way I think I'm going to get a job and pay for me to get braces is if I go homeschool. I think that would be better. But I don't understand why people sit there and hate on my stuff. Like, if you don't like it, why can't you just unfollow me on Instagram? Why can't you just unsubscribe me to YouTube? Like, you don't have to sit there and take your time out of the day to tell me that my videos are bad. I know they're not perfect. I know my teeth aren't perfect. I never once said I was perfect. But look at yourself before you judge somebody else, because you can point out, people can point out your insecurities just like you point out theirs. And I wish everybody would love each other and this would be a better country, but it's really not. But bye, guys. Thanks for listening.